Hi, Mohammed. How are you doing today?
Hi, fine, thank you. I'm good.
I
Thank you
just
so
want to
much.
say, thank you so much for making this film. Your impact in the film community is so great. Films like these actually make a difference. So, congratulations
و
and
این
thank you for
ما
everything that
به
you
خلق
do.
دنیا میکنن و تبریک و بازم ممنون از تمام
Thank
کارتون.
you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. And now I know the film was inspired by the women life and freedom movement in Iran.
الهام
Were
گرفت
there specific moments from the
یا
movement that
مواقع
inspired scenes or
مخصوص
characters in the story?
الهام داده به مثلا شخصیت های مخصوص و یا صحنه های مخصوص داستان.
فکر میکنم جنبش زن زندگی آزادی بیشتر بستر داستان هست و انگار ما درباره یک موقعیت زمانی یک خانواده ای رو ام، در واقع میتونیم با شخصیتاش بهتر آشنا شیم.
باشون بستر یعنی همون
چه
چیزی که
زمینه تا کانتکست.
So I think the Women Life Freedom is primarily the underlying context of the story, enabling us through its prism to get to know the characters better and the dynamics, the inner workings of the family and the way that they evolve over time.
بنابراین یه رابطه خیلی عمیقی بین دخترها و اون جنبش اجتماعی و پدر و مادر و رابطهشون با بچه هاشون وجود داره که جدا کردن اینا از همدیگه یکم کار سختیه.
So, of course, we've got this very strong relationship between the two daughters and the Women Life Freedom Movement. And we've got a very strong relationship between them and the parents. And a bit, it would be quite difficult to unpick it.
Yes, yeah, it's very much all intertwined in there. And you faced a lot of challenges because you had to film the entire thing in
کلی چالش
secrecy,
داشتین چون باید
which I just want to commend your bravery for doing that.
برداری کنین که باز
And you did this at a time of, heightened unrest.
و شما این کار رو به هر حال در یه موقع خاص تاریخ ایران یعنی در یه مدت اضطراب و آشوب بیشتر نسبت به معمول.
I'm just curious, what that atmosphere felt like as far as being on set and
چه حسی
you
بهتون
being the
داد
director,
موقع
how
فیلمسازی
that
و به شما به
affected the
عنوان
atmosphere,
فیلمساز یعنی چقدر
the
این
impact that that
آشوب و
had.
اضطراب تأثیر گذاشت روی خود فیلم برداری و تجربتون ازش. واضحه؟
مهم.
مهم.
تجربه فشار و اضطراب دائمی بیش از هر چیزی منو وادار میکرد که تا جایی که میتونم تمرکزمو نگه دارم، حفظ کنم. این خیلی کار سختی بود.
You know, the first thing that being subjected to this constant stress and fear did to me was to really make me zoom down on trying to maintain my focus as a director as much as I could, and it was really difficult.
و به طور دائمی این ترس وجود داشت که بریزن بگیرن و فیلم ناتموم بمونه.
Because our shoot was pervaded by this constant fear that they're going to come, find us, and stop the filming.
ولی خود گروه هم یه نقش مهمی تو این داشتن که همدیگر رو آروم کنن.
But the whole cast and crew were very good at calming one another down, at keeping us all calm and going.
و احساس میکنم انقدر غرق کار میشدن گاهی اوقات که یادشون میرفت که چه اتفاقی ممکنه بیفته.
And I felt that often they were so submerged in the work, so engrossed in the work that they'd even forget about the surrounding circumstances.
و فقط تنها راه این بود که افرادی تو گروه باشن که تمام حواسشون این باشه که مواظب به اطرافمون باشن که چه اتفاقی داره میفته. ولی بقیه واقعا میرفتیم همه توی عمق کار.
یعنی خود گروه حواسشون بود نه؟
افراد مشخصی از گروه کارشون این بود.
آه because we had
یعنی به این نتیجه رسیدیم یه افرادی باید این کار بکنن و الا چون ما اینقدر میریم توی کار که
so what we devised the strategy in order to be able to work effectively, which was to have some people whose task it was really on set to pay attention and to kind of be on guard, if you like. And that allowed us all to really go deeply into the work and somehow forget what was happening outside.
Wow, it's incredible. And I want to talk a little bit about the
Yeah.
journey to from Iran to Cannes. I mean, I know you had to flee Iran to get to Cannes, the film festival, where it was recepted on the grand stage. And I was actually there at the premiere at the Grand Lumiere, and the reception was just so positive. Can we talk about the journey from Iran to Cannes for you?
كان بسیار مثبت بود. در نتیجه بشه کمی داریم مورد این سفر از ایران بکن.
آره و واقعیت اینه که من فقط من واقعا چاره جز خروج از ایران نداشتم و تصادفاً زمان کن و خروج من به هم نزدیک شد.
So, yeah, I should first say that I had no choice but to leave Iran, and it was incidental that the timing coincided so closely with that of the Cannes Festival, the timing of my
حتی اگه
departure.
کن نبود من مجبور بودم از ایران بیام بیرون و الا باید میرفتم زندان.
I would have had to leave Iran whether the festival was taking place in those dates or not, because otherwise I had to go to prison.
ولی این تجربه خیلی استثنایی بود و برخوردی که توی نمایش فیلم توی کن بود و فکر نمی‌کنم هیچ وقت بتونم فراموش کنم.
Yet it was an exceptional reception, and I don't think I'll ever be able to forget the way we were welcomed in Cannes.
خیلی خوشحال بودم از یه طرف، ولی از طرف دیگه به این فکر میکردم که همکارام توی ایرانن، زیر فشارن، باید اینجا باشن و از تماشای فیلمی که کار کردن لذت ببرن. بنابراین میشه گفت با یه چشمم میخندیدم و با یه چشمم گریه میکردم.
You know, of course, on the one hand, I was delighted to be there, and on the other hand, I was so upset because all of my collaborators should have been there with me, watching the film they'd worked so hard towards. And so you could really say that I was laughing with one eye and crying with the other.
Now, is everyone in the cast and crew safe now? I know they've been interrogated by Iranian authorities. Everyone in the family and cast and crew safe?
بعد از اینکه به هر حال خبر ساخته شدن فیلم بیرون اومد، فشار خیلی زیادی روی گروه بود. ریختن توی خونه یه فیلم بردارم، صدا بردارم و ممنوع خروج کردن و همه یه عوامل فیلم بردن بازجویی، همه رو فشار خیلی زیادی آوردن.
When the news of the film's premiere came out, the regime exerted a huge amount of pressure on all the cast and crew. So, for instance, they raided the DOP's office and they banned the sound recorders from leaving the country. And yeah, it was really a huge amount of pressure.
ولی همزمان یه اتفاقایی توی ایران افتاد. هلیکوپتر رئیس جمهور رفت توی کوه، موشک بین ایران و اسرائیل شروع شد، شلیک موشک و نمیدونم درگیری توی ایران و کشته شدن اسماعیل هنیه، سید حسن نصرالله، همه چی تو همین جوریه. یه اتفاقایی افتاد که یکم توجه ها رو به سمتای دیگه برد، توجه حکومت ها.
But then, you know, so much has been happening in Iran since the president passed away when his helicopter crashed against a mountain. Iran and Israel's proxy conflict, whatever, has been escalating. Iran's been sending missiles, as you know. Then Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran. Hassan Nasrallah was killed. You know, they've just been busy with so many other very important matters that the pressure has diminished.
لابلای این اتفاقا یکی دو نفر دیگه از عوامل تونستن خارج شن از ایران.
And sort of throughout all of these tumultuous events, one or two other members of the group were able to leave Iran.
ولی در نهایت الان یه پرونده وجود داره و ما متهم شدیم به اشاعه فساد به اقدام علیه امنیت ملی و فعالیت تبلیغی علیه نظام.
But nonetheless, there is an ongoing court case against us at the moment, which accuses us of spreading the seeds of corruption on earth, threatening the national security of Iran, and propaganda against the regime.
بیشترین فشار الان روی سهیلا گلستانی، بازیگر نقش نجمه هست که هنوز توی ایرانه و ما خبر داریم که فشار زیادی رو داره تحمل میکنه. منتظریم ببینیم که دادگاه چه اتفاقی میفته.
At the moment, the person facing the greatest amount of pressure is Sohaila Golestani, the actress who plays Najmeh, the mother, who is currently in Iran. We know how much pressure is placed upon her, and all we can do is wait for the first sentence.
Oh, well, our heart is definitely with her. And
باش.
as far as Iman, can you talk about the character of Iman and the
ایمان
pressures, speaking of the pressures, that led to his behavior on
فشارهایی
screen?
که ایمان را به همچین رفتاری میبره.
فیلم مضمون اصلیش به سرسپردگی ربط داره.
The main theme of the film is submission to power.
اینکه چطوری بعضی از افراد میتونن به قدری خودشون رو در اختیار یه سیستم قرار بدن که از انسانیت خالی شن.
How persons are ready to consign themselves to a system to such an extent that they lose themselves, they lose their humanity.
غرق جنون و توهم برای اون چیزی که فکر میکنن که عقیدهشونه یا منافعشونه میجنگن.
They're submerged really by جنون و چی گفته ببخشین؟
جنون و توهم.
They're submerged by their own paranoia, and they're convinced that really that's what they have to do.
و سوال اینه که این چجوری اتفاق میفته و من فکر میکنم نقش اصلی توسعه خشونت به این ترتیب توسط اون ماشینی که اون افراد جز اجزایش هستن اتفاق میفته.
خشونت دست ماشین هست.
یه سیستماتیکه، یه قسمتی از یه خشونت سیستماتیک میشن.
So the question, of course, is how does this happen? How can it happen? And I think the main problem is this institutional violence, this machine of violence that they become an integrating part of.
اگه حوالی و دوربر تاریخ انقلاب، اون روزایی که انقلاب 57 اتفاق افتاد و نگاه کنن، خیلی آدمایی بودن که به واسطه مدعی بودن که به واسطه عقیدهشون عامل، یعنی نقش داشتن توی کشته شدن بچه هاشون، برادرهاشون، خواهراشون و بچه هاشون و خیلی خیلی تجربه عجیبیه تو تاریخ.
If we consider the early days of the Islamic Revolution in 1978, 1979, we can find all these stories of people who were so committed to the enforcing of a certain ideology, which they were certain was the best way ahead and the only thing to do, that they became de facto the executioners of their closest family members, of their brothers, of their sisters, indeed, even of their children. It is bizarre, but we have this in our history.
و من فکر میکنم که من تو این داستان یه بازتابی از اون فکت‌های تاریخی هم هست.
And for me, this story also presents a reflection of those events, of that part of Iranian history.
Absolutely. And can you talk a little bit about the final sequence in the ruins on a cinematic and metaphoric level?
خرابات چه از لحاظ سینمایی چه از لحاظ استعاری داستان.
خب وقتی که ما به طرف پایان داستان میریم، فیلم داره رو زمان جلو میره ولی شخصیت ایمان داره به طرف عقب میره و انگار ما تازه میشناسیم که این از کجا اومده.
So towards the end of the film, on the one hand, the story is proceeding forward chronologically, and at the same time, Iman's instead backstory is moving backwards in the sense that we are getting to know where he comes from.
در این حال یه نگاه تاریخی هم به منازعه سنت و مدرنیته تو پایان وجود داره.
And of course, the ending also presents a historical perspective on the ongoing struggle between tradition and modernity within modern Iranian history.
و در نهایت قدرت مرد سالار هست که روی در واقع خرابه های تاریخ ایران بدن زنان رو به گروگان گرفته.
And in the end, of course, we've got patriarchy, which the power of patriarchy, which upon the ruins of Iran has taken the bodies of women hostage.
موهاشو گرفته، درست همون لحظه که موهاشو گرفته و داره روی اون زمین میکشه.
When we see Iman taking Najma's hair and dragging her by her hair along the ground.
ولی در نهایت این نسل جدیده که اراده خودش رو تحمیل میکنه.
And yet, at the very end, it's the young generation that is manifesting its desires, its requests, its will to change.
Absolutely. And you've executed that so beautifully. And the film kind of invites the global audience to a front seat of the Iranian struggles. What do you hope viewers will take away from the film?
به اینکه با چالش جامعه ایران آشنا بشیم. امید شما اینکه مخاطب چی را از فیلم با خودش ببره بیرون؟ یعنی مخاطب چی نگه داره از این فیلم؟
جنبش زنان ایران ادامه داره.
The struggle of the women of Iran, the movement of the women of Iran shall continue.
Absolutely. We love that. We love that. And how can the global audience support you more? How can people who see this film and they're energized and they want to help, how can they help?
Do you mean, sorry, when you say you, do you mean Mr. Rasulov or the women of Iran or both?
Well, him, how can we get people to watch the film? What would his advice be to say to get people to watch the film to kind of make that change?
Sure. خب چجوری ما میتونیم کمک کنیم به شما اینطوری که بزرگترین تعداد ممکنه مخاطبانی را بیاریم سینما که بعد اینا خود به خود به این تغییر کمک کنه؟
به نظرم خیلی مهمه که مخاطب بدونه این فقط یه فیلم سیاسی نیست، این فقط یه تصویری از تاریخ ایران نیست، این یه داستان خانوادگیه که میشه روابط انسانی رو توش جستجو کرد.
I think it's very important for audiences to understand that this is not simply a political film about contemporary Iran, but that it's the story of a family within which you can read, see much greater human dynamics at work.
Absolutely. And there's, a theme of awakening in the film. There is that film of, submission to power, but there is that awakening that you kind of see with the characters, especially the young daughters. And, in the context of censorship and repression, you've kind of always gone against the system. This isn't your first film that you've made that has gone against the Iranian system. Why do you keep taking the risk?
چطوری تونستین انتخاب کردین که هی این ریسک رو باز بپذیرین؟
خیلی ربط داره به عزت نفس آدم و احساس نیاز به آزادی.
It has so much to do with self-respect, the desire for dignity, and a genuine desire for freedom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as far as what's next for you?
و الان دیگه چی مرحله بعدی زندگیتون چیه کاریتون چیه که پیش
من
رو
از
می‌بینی؟
ایران اومدم بیرون برای اینکه نمیخواستم قربانی سیستم سانسور باشم.
I came to Iran, sorry, I left Iran because I did not want to play the role of a victim sacrificed to Iran's censorship apparatus.
من اینجام برای اینکه بقیه داستانایی که دوست دارم رو تعریف کنم.
I'm here to tell all the other stories that I so wish to tell.
نمیدونم در آینده چه اتفاقی میفته ولی حتما همین تلاشمو میکنم.
Of course, who knows what will happen, but I shall certainly try my very best.
And was there one memorable moment from on set or from about this experience that kind of stands out to you?
آیا
Maybe a
یه
symbol of growth or resilience?
خاطره خاصی از پروسه فیلم برداری دارین که گویای مقاومت هست که با شما بسیار زنده است که دوست دارین تعریف کنید
Or maybe a moment where you felt the weight of the story, you
یا
know?
برعکس یا یه موقعی که سنگینی این داستان را حس کردین.
آه تقریبا همه چیز اونجا خاطره است. دارم فکر کنم کدومش رو بگم.
You know, I've just got so many memories that I'm trying to decide which one to tell you.
That's I figured you'd have a lot, but just maybe one that kind of the top of your head, something that sticks
همین
out
چیزی
is,
اول که تو ذهنتون برسه.
من یه روزایی وقتی تو روستا کار میکردیم کرونا گرفتم و خیلی خیلی مریض شدم و تقریبا تب 40 درجه داشتم و با این تب کار میکردیم.
So when we were shooting in the ancient ruins, I'd caught COVID and I had a 40-degree temperature and I was nonetheless working on set.
و هر بار که پلانی رو میگرفتیم دوباره میخواستم ببینمش برای که اصلا مطمئن نبودم که درسته یا نه. من اصلا نمیفهمیدم دارم چیکار میکنم.
And every time we shot a take, I asked to rewatch it straight away because I really doubted everything I was doing. I felt I had no control and no understanding of what I was doing because I was so ill.
و همه همکارام تو اون موقعیت تلاش میکردن که بهترین خودشون باشن.
And of course, all my collaborators were really on best professional behavior, giving all they could.
و به من اطمینان بدن که همه چی داره خوب پیش میره.
And to reassure me that everything's going well.
that's wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for your bravery. Thank you so much for creating
Thank you.
this. It's going to have tremendous impact, and thank you so much for all of your contributions to the space.
اینقدر تحت تاثیر بزرگی خواهد داشت و تمام کارهایی که در این عرضه انجام دادین.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Bye bye.
Bye.